Got 5, 16, 19, 21, 33, and 10. Check results. You remember?
Called the Day Doctor away, and I was recently doing a video, well, writing one out in terms of concept, what I want to talk about in terms of Chandler Bing, guy from Friends, played by Matthew Perry, unfortunately passed away. Um, and when I was reading up, I say reading up, aka scrolling Twitter, and I just genuinely tried to pass off that I was reading up by scrolling X, as Elon Musk wants me now to call it. And people were kind of saying, "Oh, this character, this show, is such a safety blanket, a security blanket, this kind of comfort blanket, a lot of different types of blankets show, and this and that." And it was kind of like reminding me. I say reminding me. It was only like yesterday I was listening to it, and a bit of today as well. Of what I'm going to be talking about mainly today in this episode, because I recently listened to Kevin Abstract's album. I think it's his third now, in terms of studio anyway. I think the first was I haven't listened to the first one actually. Actually, I think I have, but I've just forgotten. It must have been a long time ago. To the point that I can't even remember what it's called. I don't think I can even remember what the second one's called, even though I listened to the second one this week. But then the third one, Blanket, my memory does fortunately go that far back. And the kind of vibes and reasoning for the name Blanket is sort of similar to the whole Chandler Bing thing. So it's kind of like bleeding into one. I'm weird. I'm a weirdo. As Cole Sprouse famously said while playing Jughead. That name is in my brain somehow, but on Riverdale, as he famously said, right? I'm weird. Okay, I do like old school YouTube video type ideas just for free in my free time for fun. I am getting up right now because my cat is for some reason wanting to see me. Right, I just had to get up to let the cat in because the cat is disruptive and trying to sabotage my blanket review here. But yeah, no, as Jughead famously said, I'm weird, I'm a weirdo. I like to YouTube like old school YouTube video-esque ideas, but I just do it in my free time just because I'm bored. I do have electricity. I don't know. I could be doing other things. But for example, yesterday I wrote down somewhere. Actually, I'll get it now because I can see it's in my eyesight. But I basically wrote down on a piece of paper predicting my Spotify Wrapped this year, where I proceeded to write down my Spotify Wrapped. This is so lame. My Spotify Wrapped from last year, all of the results, right, and then predict. I have a section here, prediction, and then next to it reality. This isn't for anything apart from my own entertainment, which I'm now telling you now. And very often in my Spotify Wrapped, it is Post Malone, Brockhampton as the top two, and then whatever the other three are is just like it's a surprise to me. It could be anything, and sometimes I'm quite upset about it. Like, why is that in my top five? I don't even like that. But where's last year then? So last year, to be fair, last year my top song was actually a Dominic Fike song, which I don't know how that happened. Apparently, I played this particular song 66 times. He had an album that released this year, and I'm 100% confident. I like the album enough. I'm 100% confident a Dominic Fike song won't be my number one most played song, but it happened to be last year. Well, Empty by Kevin Abstract was actually my top 5 last year. But my top artist last year was Brockhampton. I listened to 1,668 minutes, which put me in the top 0.5%. I'll take it. Second place was, don't cringe, okay, I like his music, Jack Harlow. Third was Post Malone. Fourth was Dominic Fike, and fifth was Glaive. And those were like the only people I listened to. Like, I have a very small music taste. I mean, Spotify Wrapped told me that my listening history is very like I listen to very few people, but the people I do listen to, I'll be in the top 0.5% of because it's just rotation. Whether you got a new album or not, it's in rotation. All the way through, all the bangers and all the songs in between, right? And I very heavily predict that this year Brockhampton will they? Well, they definitely will be in my top 5 again, right? And I think now what I noticed is when I was going back to listen to like Kevin Abstract's other albums was that he is a large influence on a lot of the sound of those songs. So naturally, he is someone's music that I like and would like. I was looking forward to this album. Whereas probably Merlin, um, uh, I would say out of the members, I would enjoy a Joba project, a Bareface project, a Matt Champion project, and a Kevin Abstract project. And then probably not so much Merlin or Dom. Sorry, it's just a fucking zoo in here. I don't know why there's animals flocking me. Um, you know, it's weird. I don't know where this came from. This isn't usually their personality type. But this year, depending on how good this album is, I mean, I'm pretty sure Spotify Rap usually happens like towards the end of November, so like it hasn't really got much time. But I have predicted that my top 5 artists, I have put Kevin Abstract in number 4 with a late push. Technically, this year, surprisingly, I feel like the album I probably listened to most was either Post Malone's newest album, which is just called Austin, or if it's not that, I'm pretty certain it will probably be Brockhampton Family. For some reason, if I'm walking somewhere or I'm on the train, and I'm like, oh, I've listened to this, I'll listen to that. Just haven't put a song on. I just always put that one on, just play that out, play through, and that's basically a Kevin Abstract album because he's on all the songs. So technically, he would easily be in like the top 3, but that's going to count as Brockhampton. I put Brockhampton above him. But to be honest, my top 5, I predicted it as pretty much the exact same top 5 from last year, but just rearranged it because this would probably be more fun for someone to sit and do if they listen to a lot of different people. Travis Scott and Kendrick and Drake and just bare people like normal people do. But I'm wacky and quirky, so I haven't done that. But I try. In terms of the actual album, I haven't even said if I like the album or not. I did like the album. I only listened to it once so far though, and I think it's gonna grow on me. I think at the moment, I'm not giving it like anything particularly high. But I didn't give The Family anything particularly high when I first listened to it either, and then that's just been something that's been heavily in the rotation. The cover art I don't like because it makes me. The thing is, that's the intention. It's an uneasy foe. It's meant to be uneasy. But I don't like it. Like I much like the other one. It's something I like the aesthetic that one gives off. That's just more me, But artists and art and shit they choose. And I'd probably buy the CD. Because I feel like I'm gonna start collecting CDs. Everyone collects vinyls, and that's like the whole thing. Vinyls, put vinyls up on your wall. It'd be do something a bit different than just that. It's always vinyls because vinyls are fucking huge. And typically I'm on the boat and there's not a lot of wall space. I don't really want stuff up on my wall that's just huge. It would cover all the walls. It'd look insane. So I feel like I want to get CDs. Firstly, they're cheaper. Second of all, I don't think I really want if I broke a vinyl, I'd feel really like, oh, my heart crack. It's like, oh, and I'd have to have like a big old vinyl player. Whereas a CD, if I broke one by accident, it feels worse, and you could just have like a little like MP3 kind of thing playing on the side in the corner. It just takes up less space. It's a bit different as getting the vinyl and the vinyl player like everyone does. And also, I'm not gonna act like I'm some kind of music nerd or like, oh, you can really hear this difference in the vinyl. I just love the sound, the crackle of it. It's just I have to figure out how to work. I don't even know what I'm doing. Break it by accident. They seem flimsy. I'm too heavy-handed. So I want to start collecting CDs, and I only have 2 so far, which, and I've started collecting like probably 3 years ago. So we're not quick. I think the only CDs I have are, I have JME. I don't know what the album's called. I think it's just called Grime MC. I have that CD because it wasn't released on streaming for a long time, and I wanted to listen to it, and he was only releasing it on CD, so I bought it. And then TM. I can't remember what TM stands for, but that's like the final, which is like a bunch of not throwaways, but songs put together after The Family. So I have that CD as well. And I quite like the alternate cover, so I might get the CD of that. Then I'll have 3. Wow, my god, what a huge collection. Plus you can get kind of cool displays for CDs I've seen on Amazon, so maybe I'll give in to our corporate overlords, Amazon. I don't like I just said that. It felt very Jughead that I just said that. I'm in a Jughead mood, which by the way, guys, is the worst mood to be in. If you didn't realize, but yeah, no. I liked it. In terms of what songs I like the most, I think, well, Madonna, like, call me basic. Call me a basic, call me a basic Betty, you know? But, Madonna's just, it's just a great lines on the dash, screaming it's just, it goes and it goes into the thing. It feels like a very TikTok kind of thing that would get big, on there. It was probably be it's the most commercial one on there, right? But outside of that, which I like, I really like the first song. I like Blanket, even though there's not, I mean, I can't speak, even though it's not got many lyrics to it. It's just a cool vibe. Like, that's what I mean. A lot of the songs I feel like fit the other cover more. There's a couple on there that are kind of more like the first song I really like, I think. And there's like lyrics and I like, there's something moving on the ceiling. You don't have to look. I've only listened to it once, right? But it's like, yeah. And when I watched the first like promo bit of teaser bit of whatever for this rollout, right? It was like him remaking that video, which I didn't even know was a thing. I went into a rabbit hole of Googling what the actual video was based off, right? Afterwards. But it's like a guy crying, eating cereal or some shit, and then these two ominous figures come behind him trying to comfort him, but it looks like it makes it worse. And then it's like based on this other thing, he used to scare people back in the day, which people didn't know if it was real or staged or whatever. And I went into this rabbit hole, and like apparently they killed his wife, and he was eating a cereal which had his wife chopped up in there and whatever and this and that. And then at the end of the video, they like dash towards the camera or something. And at the end of the video, like one of the people comes right in front of the screen, and it didn't scare. It didn't make me scream or go ah, but like it did enough where it scared me. It did enough where on the inside my body went, you know, that kind of feeling. The feeling like you've wet yourself, but all over your body, and it's like kind of shock. You know, I don't need to describe what the feeling of being scared is. Everyone knows it, but that happened. I don't like that feeling. I don't like being scared. So immediately, every other bit of rollout type of video, promo, teaser thing, I watched. I skipped forward like, no, nothing gonna creep me out here, right? But in terms of the listening experience, yeah, I like that one. So I can't remember what that one's called. I want to say it's like quite a wordy title, but I don't know. I like Blanket. I like Madonna. What's the one where it's like, that turns me on? I mean, these were all the songs that he released before the album came out. They're all good. I like that one. I like something Spiders in the Dark. I can't remember. I could bring it up now, but it's not that important. So I like that one. That one's like got this like, it keeps this like low building eerie vibe throughout the whole thing. But I need to go back and listen again because those are the ones that I can remember right now that I liked. So it's a good chance he breaks into top 3 for Spotify, whatever. But you know, it's crazy. I really cherish albums, you know, when they do come up because I don't listen to many artists. So it's like, you know, I got to hold them tight. If I listen to Drake alone, say Drake was the only artist I listened to, I'd probably get more music from Drake than what I get from the artists I listen to altogether. To be fair, Brockhampton were notoriously known as, you know, artists who dropped a lot. They dropped like 3 in a year, right? So they've always dropped a lot. But like, obviously since that sort of died down and they've split, well, you know, that may sound dramatic, but you know, they're doing their own shit. It's like, I got, you know, Post Malone, to be fair, he drops this year. Kevin Absat dropped this year. Jack Harlow dropped this year. Everyone I listened, Dominic Fike dropped this year. Glaive dropped this year. Everyone I listened to pretty regularly dropped. So that kind of just makes you think I got to cherish all these because, and I really liked Austin, the Post album. So you know, it just makes me realize that, you know, either I got to spread my fishing out further. That sounds like an innuendo, but it's not. And listen to more artists. Or I'm not going to have anything new to listen to for the next like 2 years. I kind of feel like jumping on the Lil Yachty train, you know, because I've heard him feature on quite a few songs that I like. I heard like there were these leaked songs from like this project he was making called Beverly Hills Days, I think, Kevin Abstract. And one of them had Lil Yachty in it. I really liked him on that song. And I quite like Lil Yachty as like a character, as a human, as a what I can see anyway. And I like some of his songs. So maybe I did listen to, actually, was that this year as well? I think it was, because I make a playlist every year, like list labeled whatever the year is, 2022, 2023, and I just put whatever songs I find that year into that playlist. So they haven't got to come out that year. If I just find the song that year, I'll go into that playlist. And this is how little music. There's only 30 odd songs in there this year. You know what I mean? And like probably 13 of them is the Post Malone album. So that really does show like it's a small pool. Like I have earphones in a lot, so it's kind of crazy because I'm just listening to the same shit again and again. But yeah, it's leaked from that Beverly Hill days. I can't even say it for some reason. I liked him on that. Oh yeah, his album. I did listen to that as well. That came out this year. Can't remember what it was called, but it was like that. He was going for like a different sound, you know. I quite liked it. It was like the AI art cover, but apparently it wasn't actually AI. Apparently it's like an actual artist who does art that looks like AI. Which, if that's the case, that's kind of interesting. And yeah, I think that's all I've listened to. And I've liked every album I listened to this year. I've not been let down. I can't remember the last time I was let down, to be fair. Don't know. I don't explore enough to be let down, I guess. Maybe Come Home, The Kids Miss You. I don't remember hating that album when I first listened to it, so I'm not sure if like outward perception made me think of it less. But I feel like sometimes, I know it's like bad, like you hear other people's opinion and it changes your opinion, but sometimes you actually do. Sometimes it's actually warranted. They tell you something because they explain something, or like they put it in a certain way, and you actually listen back and you're like, yeah, I don't. So yeah, it's kind of bad because it's kind of like you're just stealing other people's opinions. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. Sometimes your opinion can change by what someone else has said. Like a lot of the lyrics in there are kind of just. A lot of the songs are like, I'm bouncing. I think I need some counseling. You know what I mean? That's like so many songs are just lines like that. What does that mean? But there is a couple songs in there I do like. I like the first. I like the first two. I think. I can't remember how they go. I remember that being a good intro. I like the first two. Churchill Downs is good, but it feels very Drake heavy in terms of everyone says he carries on it. But yeah. Anyway, I've got this hat facing backwards. I would and because I need the light to, if I have it facing forwards, it makes the lighting look shit. So I have to face it backwards, and I have it on too tight, so it's like cutting circulation off to my head, and my head hurts. So yeah, we're gonna stop now. But yeah, I like the album. I'm not sure what I'm gonna give it. Yeah, I'll probably give it an actual grade in the future, but at the moment, I'm just gonna say it's good. And it could be my comfort blanket for years to come. Full circle. Thank you guys. The crowd starts cheering. This is all filmed in front of a live studio audience. Thank you. You know, and then yeah. God, anyway, let me stop this right now because this is shit, and okay, guys. Thank you for listening to this episode of Podcast Today. Well, you know, this is 271. I'll see you in the next one. This was me talking about Kevin Abstract's album Blanket. Go listen to it. It's really good. Thanks and goodbye.
Here with the kids, and I have like 3 kids, and the geezer was probably on like maximum 20 bags a year. Like the most boring bloke you'll ever meet. Like,